What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a very important topic, something big that just happened that should be leading to the eventual return very soon of the NCAA video games that we love so much. You guys know I've been keeping you up to date on this over the past year, but we just got a big win a few days ago as a California governor just signed a new law that will require colleges in California to allow student athletes to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. And with more states looking to pile onto this soon, the return of NCAA video games at this point almost seems like a certainty. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it in this video. I'm going to break it all down for you, talk about the law, what it means, and how soon we could be expecting new NCAA video games. But first, really quickly, let's hear a word from today's video sponsor. Okay, it's time to talk about shaving your balls again. If you've been around my channel lately, you already know how great Manscaped is, but if you've somehow missed the memo, I'm here to save the day once again. Look, the facts are the facts. 85% of women think bad grooming is a major turnoff, and 80% of women think that men should groom below the waist. You do the math. With Manscaped's Perfect Package 2.0 kit and subscription service, you have everything you need at your disposal to keep your nether regions clean and fresh. You've got the Lawnmower 2.0 with skin-safe technology. No cuts or snags guaranteed. If you nick your sack, send it back. You also get a slew of other products like the Plow, Crop Preserver, and more. Now, if you want the best deal on the site, you want to grab the subscription service with your Perfect Package 2.0 so you never have to worry about your blades getting dull, as Manscaped will send you replacement blades every 3 months plus a free gift. Use code ERIC20 at manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping. Link is below. So here you have it, live from ESPN themselves. California defies NCAA as Governor Gavin Newsom signs into law the Fair Pay-to-Play Act. Now, many people have been championing this on Twitter, such as LeBron James and others, and Gavin Newsom actually went to Twitter to make the announcement, saying colleges reap billions from student athletes but block them from earning a single dollar. That's a bankrupt model. I just signed the Fair Pay-to-Play Act with LeBron James, making California the first state to allow student athletes to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. The signing was hosted Monday morning by NBA superstar LeBron James and his multimedia platform, The Uninterrupted. James tweeted that this bill will change the lives of countless athletes who deserve it. The NCAA, in response to Newsom's signing of the bill, said it would continue its effort to make adjustments to its rules that are both realistic in modern society and tied to higher education. As more states consider their own specific legislation related to this topic, it is clear that a patchwork of different laws from different states will make unattainable the goal of providing a fair and level playing field for 1,100 campuses and nearly 500,000 student athletes nationwide. Advocates of the law say Newsom's approval marks a significant step in a decades-long battle to create new compensation options for NCAA student athletes. The law, which is scheduled to go into effect in January 2023, does not require schools to pay athletes directly as employees. Instead, it makes it illegal for schools to prevent an athlete from earning money by selling the rights to his name, image, or likeness to outside bidders. The law also allows college athletes to hire a licensed agent to represent them. The bill was amended several times, including a recent provision that prevents athletes from signing endorsement deals that conflict with their team's sponsors. For example, a basketball player cannot wear Nike products during team events if he or she plays for a school that is sponsored by Under Armour. Current NCAA rules do not allow a player to accept any compensation related to his or her status as a college athlete from outside sources. The organization Board of Governors and its president, Mark Emmert, both sent letters to California lawmakers earlier this year asking them not to pass the bill. NCAA Board of Governors Chair Michael Drake told ESPN that the NCAA wants to evolve and modernize its approach to name, image, and likeness rights, but it fears that the California bill has the potential to blur an important distinction between professional leagues and amateur college sports. "We're not the association of the 20th century," Drake said. "We need to make sure we have 21st century rules. We want to continue to change appropriately for the future." The NCAA assembled a group of university presidents, athletic directors, and conference commissioners earlier this year to examine ways it might update its policies. The group is expected to report its findings to the Board of Governors at some point in October. Drake, who spoke to ESPN before Newsom signed the bill, said the NCAA preferred that California give the association time to adjust its rule to avoid a situation in which schools in different states are operating with different rules. State Senator Nancy Skinner, who introduced the Fair Pay to Play Act in February, said she is hoping change will occur on a national scale. She said the NCAA has had decades to update its rules and needs legislative pressure to be spurred into action. The NCAA has formed committees in the past, one in 1998, to review its compensation rules. Skinner believes others will follow California's lead and said the law's authors delayed its implementation for 3 years to give others a chance to catch up. She said lawmakers from several states have contacted her office in recent months to ask about her proposal. Politicians in Florida, New York, Washington State, Colorado, Maryland, North Carolina, and South Carolina have publicly supported the idea of creating similar laws in their states. Now, earlier this year, we also had a representative in North Carolina who actually proposed a new federal law that would just affect all states across the country, which would basically introduce a federal tax code that would force the NCAA to choose between giving athletes the rights to their name, image, and likeness, or risking the loss of their tax-exempt nonprofit status. So basically what all this means is what California has put into effect now is that any college athlete who attends school in California, it could be USC, it could be any college in California, they cannot penalize them for profiting off their name, image, and likeness. Now, they're not paying them directly as employees, they're not giving them a salary or a game check, and I don't think that's ever going to happen in terms of NCAA sports. But those players attending school in college can get paid for autograph signings, they can get paid for memorabilia, and yes, they could get paid for having their rights in a video game, and that's where it really opens things up for NCAA football and even possibly NCAA basketball to return in the near future, because the companies that make the game, specifically EA Sports at this time, because they are the last company to make the NCAA games, and they would likely be the first to jump at a new game once they were able to create one, they have no problem paying the athletes for their likeness. In fact, paying athletes to use their rights in a video game does not really cost that much money, and you would think it would, but it really doesn't. You can even just look at the Ultimate Team game modes that these games like NBA 2K and, FIFA and Madden use currently. They put Hall of Fame players in the game. Some of the biggest names to ever play football, for example, in Madden. Guys like Randy Moss, Deion Sanders, Dan Marino. These guys are in Madden, and they don't cost that much to put in the game. They cost a few $1,000s to get their likeness. It's not like you're paying $50,000 or $100,000 a person. So college athletes would be even cheaper than that. Obviously, you're going to have the rare cases of like a Zion Williamson, someone that's just, larger than life name, who obviously costs more than others. But to get an entire roster full of college athletes, most of which will never even make it to the NFL, it's not going to require that much money for these companies to go out and pay them for their name, image, and likeness. And they can negotiate with these players directly. Now, once more states hop on this, which it looks like they're going to do, eventually this is going to become a nationwide thing, especially because of the fact that if one college does it, one domino falls, you're going to start seeing the other dominoes fall, especially in the case that if all the colleges don't kind of come together and agree on this, it's going to cause a problem in terms of giving certain schools an unfair recruiting advantage, which could eliminate them from things like bowl games and things of that nature. Because say that only California has this law and no other states have this law. Well, college athletes are going to be more inclined to go to play for a USC or something like that because they know that they can make money off their name, image, and likeness. Whereas if they go to Alabama, yeah, they might win a championship, but what's more important to them? Do they want to get paid while they're in college, or do they want to win that championship? Some people are going to want to get paid. So as more schools come on board with this, and we're seeing a lot of people on Twitter, even, coaches from certain colleges, even, former college players, obviously they're in the NFL, they are behind this 100%. They want the players to be able to earn compensation. That just means that once this goes into effect all around, we can see our video games back because these companies will start negotiating with the players directly, and they can negotiate with the schools as well. They can negotiate with the schools to get, the school's image and likeness and logos, the same way Madden did this year with Madden 20 and the created player mode where they had 10 colleges in the game. They had to pay those colleges to get their uniforms, their logos, and their stadiums. They can do that for all schools, and then they can negotiate with the players directly so that they can have the actual players' real names, faces, likeness, everything, maybe even scan the bigger name players into the game. Now, once all this stuff goes into effect in a few years, what likely would probably happen is that they wouldn't have to negotiate with everybody directly because it would probably just maybe somewhat go back to how it used to be, where they kind of just deal with the schools and kind of everybody being on the same page of saying, hey, we're going to compensate your players for putting them in the game. But if there winds up being a little bit of a rift, they may have to just negotiate with everybody separately, and that would definitely be a much bigger task. A lot of work, a lot of time would have to go into it, and in that case, maybe they would only negotiate with the bigger names and bigger schools. We don't really know, but all we know is that we could actually get an NCAA game back, and the demand for it is there. The NCAA games are very big. People still want them. People still play NCAA 14 to this day.
To this day.
So they're going to definitely be interested in putting those games back. In fact, EA has even come out recently as all these bills have been proposed and everything's starting to pick up steam, and they have said that they are very interested in getting back into the college video game market once they're allowed to do so, once these things start to open up. So I'm very excited about this. You should be too. Let me know below how you feel about all this. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is going to come to fruition? It certainly looks like it will be very soon. Or do you think it's going to fall on its face? Let me know below, and as always, I will see you guys next time.